everyone. We've got the second half of this evening's show with Laura. Just before we start with Laura, I wanted to give a bit of a shout out to people in the room. Part of the reason... Rachel, sorry, I did tell you that. So Laura's gone, the older sister, and Rachel Beatty is here. So I'll get it wrong, I'll be now saying Rachel. But yeah, quick shout out to people in the room. Sarah with the blonde hair's the other half of DidsburyFM, who's good at all the technical stuff and, great ideas and so on. We've got Emma Forrester, who is there waving. He's become a travel counsellor, so if you need a good holiday, see Emma. And will be coming on DidsburyFM soon. She's left the corporate world and is now travel counsellor. We've got Sam from Beaver Road PTA there, who's got a jumper on. Shout out. Well, the PTA has raised a substantial amount of money. It's not even the end of the year. I forget now from when you came on the radio show. Can you just share that with us?
32,000 in the bank.
Wow. Yeah. And there's only two of them.
Just want to spend it.
Yes, absolutely. So if you've got ideas, see Sam and all the volunteers and Dawn and who also volunteers a lot for the PTA, Helen and so on. So that's great. We've got in the corner of the red jumper the lady who was a co-op fair trading.
But a co-op member pioneer, new in post.
New in post for Didsbury. So we're all very excited to hear what's coming and all the fair trade products which are coming. So you're very welcome. And then the lady there with the blonde hair is the neighbour of the year. Is that you, Judy?
Yeah.
Yeah? You weren't expecting that, were you? Manchester's neighbour of the year. So it's a great shout out to you. Well done for being a great neighbour on Parswood Road.
With the little one, not part of the program.
Oh, it's alright, the little one. You always exaggerate. No one's interested in the truth, really. And then next to her is Tracy, who was big in the Stop McDonald's in Didsbury. And Judy was. Stopping McDonald's from coming to Didsbury. And then we've got Sally, who's there, another Sally, who's a medical director.
Medical writer.
A writer, sorry. And Jax, because I haven't had a glass of wine yet. Jax is a speech therapist.
Yeah.
And Catherine, who's a speech therapist. So we're all friends here. One of the things about DidsburyFM is we're trying to actually end isolation and loneliness in our communities. And if this is a way of doing it, so be it. It's great. And we really just want us all to be connected in a really positive way. And Joe Cox, who was the MP who was murdered, said we have more in common than divides us, and I truly believe that. And so I hope that this hasn't just been a pleasant evening hearing about fashion and other speakers, but actually an opportunity for us to really carry that message forward. So without further ado, welcome Rachel. I got it right.
Yeah.
Rachel, we've heard from your sister, and so we just want to hear your story really. So how old are you now?
So I'm 24 now.
And how old were you when you started the brand?
So I had the idea when I was 14, but I'd say I was probably like 20 when I actually started working on it. So actually put it into motion.
Right. And you were wearing one of the dresses.
Yeah, I am.
You can model it for us later.
Oh no, please do.
But you actually studied maths.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Manchester University.
Yeah.
And so just to the sort of A-level beginning, did you know you wanted to do maths? Were you good at maths?
Yeah, so I always loved maths. So I always loved problem solving. So I always did maths, and then I did maths and further maths at A-level. But I was always one of those people doing a mix. So I did geography and history and chemistry. So I really liked the balance between the science and the creative subjects.
I don't know many maths people who are fashion designers, but where did your real passion for fashion come from?
So I guess, so take you back to 10 years ago. I feel a bit old even though I'm not. I feel so terrible saying that. I feel bad saying that. So when I was 14, I was studying for my GCSEs. So as I said, I always really loved maths, and then I also really loved art as well. So I also live in Stratford, so I live a bit too close to the Trafford Centre, so I was completely obsessed with clothes, much to my mum's dismay, because I used to drag her there all the time. So for my art GCSE, I decided I wanted to make a dress to incorporate that love of fashion, and that's where I enlisted the help of my nana, which Laura mentioned, who was a dressmaker, and she used to talk about how important it was how dresses were made like with quality and how they fit to each and every woman, and that's really like where it kind of came from really. And I used to also like, I can say this now, I used to steal Laura's clothes. I know I always say I used to borrow them, but they always used to like never fit me on top, or I wanted to add sleeves, so this is all going on in my head. And then that's why my maths came in, because I was like, I found a problem and like I want to fix it, so I guess that's kind of where the maths kind of applies to the fashion, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I just want to hear a bit more as well about this charity that you both worked for, the teaching charity.
Oh, the Tutor Trust.
The Tutor Trust.
Yeah.
So were you, when you were a student, then participating in the Tutor Trust?
Yeah.
And then thinking about it?
Yeah.
How did they all fit together?
So how it works is that the Tutor Trust, it was founded in Manchester by Abigail and Nick, and they basically recruit university students, and you can basically tutor primary or secondary school, and you get like paid for it, but it's obviously a much lower rate than traditional tutoring, and it goes into like disadvantaged areas, so it's a lot of pupils who are on pupil premium or free school meals, and it's just to give them that one-to-one support to really make sure that they're tackling the educational equality. So yeah, it was an amazing experience, and I think that really inspired me, because obviously when I had the idea when I was 14, you kind of had that attitude where you're like, I can do anything, like I'm going to do it, but then when you get older and you kind of think, you start doubting yourself, really, you think, oh, like I was a bit silly to say I could do that, but really the tutoring made me like having one-to-one or like 1 to like 3 students, and you kind of see their kind of that belief in themselves. It kind of really took me back to like when I was 14. I was like, right, I really need to do that now. So I think it was just a really good experience.
Yeah. So you didn't go straight into the fashion though, because you went on a graduate scheme.
Yeah.
At not Deloitte, PwC.
Yeah.
So you went on that graduate scheme.
Yeah.
So why didn't you start fashion straight away and sort of didn't just thinking through logistics?
So I did maths at uni, as I said, and then so I did an internship while I was at university, because obviously, like I said, I had no business experience, so I was like, and my mum works for the council, my dad works in computer. He's one of those people that you don't really know what he really does, but he works computer, so I didn't really have anyone I could talk to about starting a business, so I thought, the best thing to do is like, and obviously I was really passionate about maths, so I thought I'll apply for an internship and get to know like that experience in the corporate world. So I did that, and then they offered me a graduate position, so I started doing that, and it was just a really good learning curve to kind of learn about how the corporate world works and learn about how big business operates, and also it was just like a really good experience. Yeah.
And you didn't go to one would term a posh school.
No.
Just tell us where you went to school, so that there's a produce of our brilliant system.
Yeah. So I went to Loretto in Altrincham. So that was like an all-girls school. I think that's where the maths kind of came in as well, because like we were just talking about work with Sarah about like kind of the gender equality in like science and maths. And I think going to Loretto really, where we all did maths, we all did science, and we all believed we could do it. So I think that's really, I really credit Loretto. It's kind of that belief that you can do whatever you want. So I think it really like cultured that belief, and I really love going back to there now and talking to them and kind of seeing all the amazing ideas they come up with now, and it's just like really inspiring. So yeah, I'm really grateful I got to go to that school.
So you had that schooling, you did the graduate scheme, and then you are now on the Princess Trust.
Yeah.
We know your ambassadors, but I just want to get into your mind about how there are quite a lot of entrepreneurs, and there's a prediction that there were more women entrepreneurs than men, and so on. But how did you had the confidence of 14 to write the dress idea, but what did you then do to even get on the Princess Trust sort of programs, and then trying to find people to then wear the dresses and all that? If I have an idea for something tomorrow, how would one kind of pursue it?
Yeah, I think the hardest thing is like just to start it. I think that's really, because I think once you start it and you've made that commitment, you naturally just start working on it. So I think the biggest, differentiator for me is, like I said, I didn't come from a fashion background. I didn't know anyone who had run a business, but I think just getting out there and speaking to people, because like you've seen in this room, most people are genuinely really nice people and just want to support you. And like you telling you, we met you and you were like, I can help you, I want to support you. So I think just like getting out there and speaking to people, because people then are more than willing to help. But I think also like not coming from a fashion background and not coming from a business background, I think that naivety almost of like I'm gonna do it is kind of like what's kept me going, because there's been so many times along the way when people have said like, why are you starting a business like so young, like go out and get experience, or like why don't you stick to how like normal dresses are made, like why do you think you can do this, like it's not been done before. But I think just taking it back to like that belief of when you're younger and you think you can do it, I think has been like the differentiator really. So just think keep going and just speak to as many people as possible has been like the main thing. But I think the Prince's Trust, I just got in contact with them. And once you make that contact, like they just want to do whatever you can to support. So like I said, if you just tell as many people as possible, and you kind of get to the right place and the right support in the end, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. So now, tell us about the concept of the dress.
I should probably have said that.
No, we're the same thing here. How does it work?
Yeah.
What's the idea? How is it sustainable?
Yeah.
How can everyone get one?
Okay. Testing my memory.
Okay, well let's start with question one.
Yeah.
What is the concept of the dress?
Yeah. So the concept. I'll just go a bit of background. So as I said, when I had the idea, I used to go shopping with like my friends from school, and we used to be in the changing rooms, and like a lot of my friends would be like, I wish I was taller, I wish I was like, I wish I was this, I wish I was that, I wish my arms were different, blah blah blah. And it's me thinking like I don't ever want like any young girl or woman to kind of be in a change room and think like why I want to change myself to fit into dresses. So when I had the idea, I wanted to create a dress that changed to fit each and every woman and girl, so they never had to feel like that. So the dress has, I don't know if you can see like a zip around the waist, so it's actually a top and a skirt. So you can mix and match to create different styles. And you can also have a different size top to bottom. So if you like a 12 on the top and a 14 on the bottom, always fits together. So that's like the main concept and the brand behind it. But it's been a lot of trial and error to kind of get the dress how I want it to be. And kind of, it's been a lot of like no's and kind of, that's not working, let's try this. So it's took a long time to like get here really. Yeah.
And can I ask you, why don't you just make them cheaply? And then they're in every department store. So why don't you sell them for like 20 quid? Get a cheap fabric. It's a difficult question, I appreciate it. Cheap fabric, have them made out in India. They're not made in Manchester or England. Pay everyone peanuts and Bob's your uncle. Why don't you do that?
So I think from the start, I guess from not coming from a fashion industry, we always thought like every action we did, like I'm sure you all, like every action you take, you'd never want to like deliberately hurt anyone else. So I don't get why that you do that in business. So we're not those people anyway, like everyone in this room is. So we wanted to make sure that everything we did, like the fabric, we knew that people were paid correctly and treated fairly. Because also I wouldn't want my money or anything I did to cause harm to other people. So and then also in where it's made as well. Obviously we're from Manchester, and I just think there's something really special about celebrating the history of Manchester, because it's really a place of innovation and a place of first. So I think like the question before, I think that's probably why it's took us so long, because we haven't compromised on any of that, and it means, and so also somebody's investing in us as a brand, us as a person. Like I couldn't live with myself if like I'd use that to like pay cheap labour or like treat somebody unfairly. So I think that's basically what it goes back to. But when we started doing it, like there wasn't really like the word sustainability or ethical fashion. But so I'm really glad now it's getting the traction. But I think it just, stripping it back to basic, it just means like doing things kindly and correctly really. So
Can I ask you about the dress you made for several people? Marnie Millard, who's the CEO of Nicholson PLC, and they make Vinto. You made a dress for a woman called Simone Roach, who set up the Northern Power Women Awards. She received an honour and she wore it there. But you made an interesting dress for the Pankhurst Centre, I want to say museum, but it's a building that Emily lived after her husband Richard died. How did that come about, and how did you come to be making? Maybe let's start with Emily and Pankhurst. because it's there in purple, I think.
So that was in 2018, so that was like 100 years since some women gained the right to vote. So they were looking for ambassadors, so I guess similar to what you're doing, so like to kind of drive it forward. So I volunteered as an ambassador, like curating the exhibition for 100 years. And then it was only about a month before it, and they were looking for submissions for the exhibition. So people were, like, I think Stacey Copeland, the boxer, she was like, donated her gloves to celebrate it. And then I thought, like, it's great creative. I was like, couldn't we maybe make a dress for it? And I thought they were going to say no because it was so last minute. But luckily it got approved. So we took the purple from Mardy's dress, which was associated with Vimto, because we had leftover fabric from when we bought her dress, and I thought obviously it's in the suffragette colours. And we used the style of Simone's dress to kind of mash it all together and really celebrate two current women who are in Manchester doing amazing things and tie it back to like kind of 100 years ago. So that's very kind of, and it was also made by Jackie, our dressmaker, and Barbara, our pattern cutter, who are based in Manchester as well. So we wanted to really celebrate them and the amazing work they do as well.
Do you work with any men?
Yeah, we do work with them, but I guess like we've only got Jackie and Barbara at the moment.
Yeah.
And they're best friends as well, so so we are looking to expand, so if you know any men or women who can help, then that would be great, Oh, actually, the John, who was the person that Laura met at the gym, he was a pattern cutter, so he was the first one who actually helped us with the dress. And then we also had Terry, who's based in Trafford Park, who did some patterns for us as well. So yeah, anyone who can help is amazing.
It's not gender specific.
Oh no.
Can I ask you about community and
Yeah.
the £1 million question?
Yeah.
What would you like? Laura mentioned the foundation, but I wondered if you had any different or similar views about what does community mean to you personally, not generally? And secondly, what would you do with £1 million?
I think community is probably similar to what Laura said, but I think like it is equality for everybody. So I think, and for me, it's just about helping each other and just making sure that everybody's represented and everyone's voices are heard and everyone is kind of helping one another. I think, like I said, it's like a space like this where everyone comes together and really wants to help one another. And I think for the £1 million question, I think it would be to set up a foundation, but through that, like support charities that we care about and volunteer through that. So, for example, like STEM, like disabilities, obviously like children charities, like everything like that. I think, I'm probably not the best businesswoman actually because I just want to give all my money away. But I think just having the kind of platform and money to do that would be amazing. So
absolutely. And can I ask you? Well, I want to ask you a question I want you to think about. And then I want to ask you this question. The question I want you to think about is really about any quotes or books that have inspired you. But we heard from your sister earlier, and CF is not very nice. And so I wondered what the effect has been on you as a younger sister. Living with seeing your older sister going through all of that, and your family really, and I wondered if you could share some of that with us.
I think that's a tricky question, because obviously I'm the younger sister, so I think like I just see Laura as Laura, so I think in a way like when we run the business, I'm like, let's like, I don't actually say this, but for example, like, can you just carry, like, can you just do this, because sometimes I'm like, I can't be bothered, do you know what I mean? But then I think like, so just see Laura as Laura, I don't really think about it. So I think like it's quite interesting you ask that, because obviously like it is really upsetting, like when I heard her speak before, you think about the reality, but I think day to day